Welcome to another Spreading the Gospel with your boy, CEO The One. I want to talk about something that's really hidden beneath the surface and narcissistic manipulation. Today, I'm going to break down 10 forms of manipulation rooted in narcissistic trait. By recognizing these patterns, you can start protecting yourself and setting boundaries. For me, I had to learn. In my last video that I just did is called Silence the Chosen Ones. And I let you understand that manipulation is a form of witchcraft. And we do it willingly and unwillingly without knowing. And many people are under the form of witchcraft by being manipulated and without even understanding that they are. And I'm going to let you know that I was also under a form of being manipulated when I wasn't aware. When you're unaware of what manipulation is, could be bewitched. So you could be under a certain spell that people have not learned. So I'm going to give y'all some of my scenarios, and I'm going to share with you a little bit of my stories that I've also experienced of learning what manipulation is and being manipulated. So one of the most things that I've dealt with was lying by omission. And most people, what they do is they leave out details. Or in my case, when narcissist wants to paint this narrative about you, they will make up and create things in their minds and then they will spread them. It's because it makes them feel better, but they doesn't realize that they are exposing their insecurities, hate, jealousy, and envy towards you by creating lies within their mind. And then they can feel more comfortable about the things that they lie about. It's really not leaving details out. It's really creating a whole narrative within their mind. I would say some of it could be psychopathic tendencies. Some of it can be hate, jealousy, and envy. But when they create a narrative about you, then they will go and do smear campaigns and lie on you and create a whole narrative in their mind about you so they can make other people feel the same way they feel about you. So you got to be mindful of when you're dealing with these certain people to stay away from them. And that's the thing about setting boundaries. You have to stay away from these people because they're finding ways to control you. And control is another one. That may be 11. So that might be another one that may put it, because that's the main thing, control. Anyone who's controlling you is manipulating you and has power over you, right? The next one is gossip, spreading false truth. Most of the time, what a narcissist would do, they'll throw their rock and they'll hide their hand. So they're not going to tell you the action that caused you to react. They're only going to talk about the reaction. One thing lying does, right? I forgot to say that in the last one. Lying is a false reality, right? It's like manipulating reality. So if you bring a false reality, which is false truth, you're manipulating the reality. So you're changing what the truth is to a lie. And mostly that's what it is. And a lot of that get done also in gossip. You know what I'm saying? People gossip about you by smearing your name also. They find ways to bring you down. If I talk negative about him, so gossiping is another form of witchcraft. Even if you just, this is why I find out that so many people are doing podcasts, is having an opinion on someone else's life is a form of witchcraft. You know what I'm saying? It's a form of manipulation. It's God give us the right to righteously judge, right? But to know what is right for you and what is wrong for you. So it's hard to say only God could judge me when you're doing the things that makes you the fruit of your spirit. So if you're a killer and you kill someone, you're known as a killer, right? I can't take that from you. If you doing bad things, this is the person that you are. So I have the right to say, I don't want that around me. I have to make that judgment for myself to say, I don't want this certain person around me because they is this type of individual, right? Gossip is, like I said, one of a form that people never realize that just having an opinion on someone can be word curse. Spells is the word curse. So words could be spells. It basically tells you spell a word, but it's telling you right there in the beginning, spells are words. Consistent criticism. And people will find ways to put you down because they want to dim your light. And that's number 3. Consistent criticism. They want you to not walk in your confidence. So they will find ways to bring you down, to devalue you, to make you feel less than the person that you are, because their insecurity says, if I'm not on the same level as you, then you can't be on that level either. These people will try to bring you down any way that they can. Um, Number 4 is playing the victim just to gain sympathy. So a lot of them will do you wrong, and then because they don't want to take accountability, they will blame you for the things they did to you. They don't want to own up to the actions that they did. They don't want to seem like they're the bad person for doing you wrong. So they'll make up in their minds why they had to do you wrong. In their mind, it feels okay to say, well, if he wouldn't have did this to me, then I wouldn't have did that to him. So I'm going to play victim because I'm going to make people feel like he's the bad person or she's the bad person because of what they did to me. Now, I may throw my rock and hide my hand, but I'm not going to tell the full truth. So we're going to play the victim. They did me wrong. They'll play the victim. I don't know why they not talking to me. I don't know why they feel this way about me, because I didn't do nothing. All I did was try to help them. Play victim. They will play victim all the time, but in the same time, they'll help you to hurt you. And then play victim as if they was your biggest supporter, but at the same time, they don't want to see you do better than them. And if they see that you have power and confidence, then they will try to make it seem like they was helping you become who you are. That's some of the things I dealt with. So I'm just speaking from experience. I'm speaking from the things that I went through. Number 5 is gaslighting, making others doubt their own reality. So what they will do is you will see what they have done to you, and then you approach them on it, and then the first thing they'll say is, I didn't mean it that way, or you taking it the wrong way. And they'd be like, no, this is what you did. This is how you made me feel. So how can I take what you did and how you made me feel the wrong way when those were the actions, right? And that's their main focus. They will try to brush off the fact that they did wrong. They don't want to take accountability. So they'll make you seem like you're the problem for approaching what they did wrong. So I'll give you a scenario, right? I was sitting in my car. A person comes to me and says, can I get money with you? And I'm saying, what do you mean, can you get money with me? Well, don't act like you don't know what I'm talking about. When I was getting money, you got it with me. And I'm like, first of all, ain't nobody help me get in a position of getting any type of money, right? And then I'm asking, what are you talking about? You know what I'm talking about? Niggas told me that you was doing this. My whole thing is, who told you what? And then when I felt like it was a wrong approach, and then I brought it up, I was only playing. No, that energy that you brought to me was an energy of saying, whatever you are part of, you got to make me a part of it. I feel like an entitlement. Saying, can I get money with you? Like I owe you something, like you did something for me. Like you helped me pay my bills, or you helped me get some money in any form of fashion. And that's another reason why most people like me don't like asking people for money, because you have to hear about it. Another scenario where, I've helped people and I never charged it to the game, but you have people who gave me information and charged it to the game, right? A person gave me information on the camera. And then after he gave me information on the camera, when I was choosing to go buy a Sony camera, he showed me that I should buy a mirrorless camera. I chose to go buy the camera that he insisted for me to buy. And I would never discredit a person from giving me the information I need. He gave me the information. I checked out mirrorless camera. It's lighter, it's easier. So I bought a mirrorless camera. Something happened where he needed my services, and because I charged him, he stopped talking to me because I owed him for giving me information. So in his mind is, you would have never got the camera if I didn't tell you about it. Okay, you told me about it. Thank you. But I spent my own money to buy the camera. You didn't really do anything for me. You gave me information. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I have no problem giving credit where credit is due. You gave me the information, but you didn't buy the camera for me. You know what I'm saying? So those are scenarios that I had to deal with. Then you got number 6. People get passive aggressive behavior and hostility, right? Dealing with another situation where people knew that I had anger issues. So what they would do is they would provoke me into doing, knowing that if they say the wrong thing, it will cause me to react in a hostile way, right? So because the spirit started leading me and warning me, and God does nothing without warning and preparation, God prepared me for the situation where I was able to hold my tongue, because a person has already painted this narrative about me that I'm this type of person. And he provoked me to see if he could get that reaction. So now he looks right if I react in a hostile way. So now he will be right if I acted in a hostile way, right? So now I'm like, okay, I know his manipulative ways. I've told people that this person was a master manipulator. So I know what his intentions is. First of all, he lied about this situation and then lied to me to get me to provoke. So now I know I'm dealing with someone who is dealing with a mental illness, because what you caused out of nothing at all, because I never did anything to you, made me see and realize that I'm dealing with someone who has mental issues and causing me to react in a way that is trying to control my emotions. So if you give people control over your emotions, you have given them power, which is a form of manipulation, which is a form of witchcraft. So, 7, withholding affection and attention. This comes with even when you're chasing love, right? Um, my mother, holding love and affection. I dealt with females who will also find ways to manipulate you by holding back, holding attention and affection from you to make you feel less than, like you're not worthy. And then it's psychological manipulation when they're using this type of tactic. You have to understand how to break free from this type of psychological manipulation, right? You got to break free from this psychological manipulation by just taking back control of your power, right? Get away from it. That's what allowed me to leave my daughter's mother. You know, this comes when you're trying to find love. Being the youngest brother of 4, I have 3 older brothers, and I have brothers who could have helped me but chose not to. I always tell them, I had an argument with them. Y'all never been older brothers to me. I had to figure things out on my own. And my brother told me after, being in business for a long time, tell me some things I need to do to grow my business. He never did. And then not too long ago, he told me, nobody helped me. So his initial was telling me is nobody helped me. So you got to figure it out on your own, just like I figured it out on my own. But that's being a gatekeeper, and that's just being insecure because I don't want to help you because you might do better than me. That's what I took of it. He was tested by God. So I was fighting for my brother's attention, but they would never help me because they always knew there was something greater in me, which only showed me that they had some secret hate towards who I was and threatened by who I can become. 8, consistent comparison to others, setting unrealistic standards. So you will have people who will compare you to others. This person wouldn't do this how you would do it. This person wouldn't do me how you would do me. This person wouldn't have did this to me like how you did it to me. So it's consistently comparing you to someone else. Me, I'm the type of person is you can't compare me to someone else because I'm going to tell you quick, fast, and the other. Hurry. Go back to that person or go, well, then you should be doing business with that person or this and that. It's don't compare me to somebody else because I will have no problem directing you back to that person. You know what I'm saying? So I don't play those games. Number 9, guilt tripping, making others feel responsible for your emotions. And guilt tripping is one of their major things. So they want to make you feel bad uh, for how you made them feel for you confronting what they did wrong, right? Like, it's so many things that these people would do. So they don't want to take accountability or responsibility for their choices. You made me feel this way, but your actions made you feel that way. But you don't want to take accountability. So you will just deflect the truth. So I'm making you feel this type of way, but you don't want to take accountability. So that's, you have to watch out for people who will do you wrong and then guilt trip you for bringing up the wrong they did to you. Stay away from the type of people, because you are dealing with someone who's going to continuously be this type of person. They're stuck in their ways and they don't want to change and they don't want to be identified. And they hate when people truly see them for who they really are, because now they can't hide behind the mask that they've been deceiving you with for so long. So we're gonna go to the final one is 10, using charm and flattery to get what they want. You know, this most of the time it's called love bombing. First people will come to you with I want to see you grow, I have your best interests at heart, and just to get the control they want over you, and then find a way to make you feel less than, and doesn't want you to shine the way they want to try to dim your light and break you down. So those are the 10 forms of manipulation. Like I said before, and manipulation is a form of witchcraft. So you got to watch the way these narcissists are moving in today's society, because it is a narcissistic collapse happening, and you have to set boundaries when it comes to these narcissists. When you see these type of traits, learn the spirit that they're dealing with and set boundaries. Call them out on these things, and whatever your heart is telling you, stay with it. Don't let them make you feel less of how you feel. Stick on how you feel, and don't make them gaslight you. Don't make them doubt what you're feeling, and or nothing like that. But the best thing is, don't give them no energy. When you realize who these people are and what their traits is, it's not good for you, because they only want to drain you of your energy. And the more that they drain you, the more it depletes you, bring you into depression, bring you into doubting yourself, and, making you feel less of a person. So they want to throw their insecurities on you. So don't allow them to throw their insecurities on you and make you be like them, because they have hate and envy in their heart. You will realize when us chosen ones, we have a pure heart. You can't make our hearts like y'all's. And that's their whole objective. That's their main focus. You think you better than us because you don't think like us and you don't move like us. So set your boundaries and move forward and get away from them, and you will find peace. Protect your peace at all costs and at all times. I hope this helped you. If you have anything to share, please share it in the comments. Ask any questions that you can and I'll answer. Stay tuned, stay blessed. See you in the next video.